So you have Roxy on my left, and I don't know who that is. It may have been this guy named Zero on my, farther left, and even farther left, that's Nairo. What's really funny is these two guys, of course, had, they're professional Smash Bros. Players, but there's a ton of enthusiasm about Mario Tennis Aces, and that's exactly what we're going to show you guys today. We actually want to show you a good chunk of what it means to play at a really high level, kind of dive into techniques, and we'll just watch these two rock it out, man. It'll be great. So, Roxy, you want?
Yeah, sure. So we are going to watch a series of matches between Zero and Nairo today. It will be a two-set, one-game match. So sort of traditional tennis rules. For the first round, we are going to have these folks play on the Piranha Plant Forest court with hazards on. And go ahead and start. In the middle, you'll notice 3 warp pipes. Piranha plants will periodically sort of pop in and out and sort of divert the ball's trajectory. So we're going to see how these pro players sort of navigate past those hazards.
Awesome. And just to clarify, who's who?
Bowser is Nairo, I believe. And the Zero is Waluigi.
Okay, by the way Zero's popping off over here, like... Oh, man.
Wow, very fast shots we see coming from Bowser.
Yeah, burning some meter too. I mean, that seems to be the thing. Is like it looks like Bowser's trying to conserve meter, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's charging up for his shots, and charge shots are a good way to sort of steadily build up
Where's it going?
Gauge.
Oh, that's a bad mix-up. I think Zero is Waluigi. Seems like it right now because every time he's just it definitely is him. Yep, definitely him. Yep, definitely.
That was a nice one to the corner.
Look, there's this, it's so funny. I think these two guys have known each other where he's just like cheesy gritting like crazy.
Oh no!
like, like, seriously, I know, we'll get to it, I swear, but I will say that, the style really seems to be like a serve and volley, right? For me, I can see Zero being super, super aggressive. Look at that. He just creeps for the front. Waluigi creeps for the front. That's Zero. He's doing that, and he continues to just stay up.
Right, and characters like Waluigi who are defensive, they have great horizontal reach. So the center of the court is where they will be very comfortable.
Ooh, you see him miss that too. So, look at Nairo's popping off too. This is great, guys. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Zero is down 1 racket.
I'm so glad they're not on mics. Oh man, that's good. Oh. Ooh. Oh, you can also tell by the direction of which the Piranha Plant's facing where it's going to shoot out. Ooh, that was a 50-50. And what's interesting is it seems to feel right now that, by scooting up with Waluigi and doing things early, oh boy, here it comes. It forces people into making decisions much, much faster. Is he going to go for it? He opted not to. He opted not to do it. Ooh, good, successful
nice
block. Look at that.
Yeah, burning some energy to use his own speed.
Nah, Nairo ain't having any of that. This defense. This defense. This defense. Woo.
Yeah, Zero's really being able to hit those shots to the corners.
Oh, man. And, let's talk a little bit about the shots they're choosing, too. They're playing really, really, really fast, like lots of volleys. But you see the shot selection. You see a lot of topspin, from both of those guys right now.
Oh,
that's a drop
recovery.
shot. Yeah, so you can tell if you don't know about Mario Tennis Aces yet, just know that different colors do different types of shots.
Right.
And that there are really optimal, choices to make against each one. Oh, my goodness.
So I think Zero made a strategic choice there to sort of just avoid the shot since his racket is down to 1 health.
Yeah, dude, I saw him walk away from it even. So I think it was like, he probably knew that a body shot was coming, so he just ran away.
Right.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah, and as powerful as a zone shot is, it does use up a lot of energy, and if you have an energy advantage, it can result in a pretty big change of the tide.
And it seems like, dude, look, Zero's just waiting. He's just waiting. He could be choosing to burn that meter and use his oh, there it is. See, commentator's curse. Isn't that what it's called? You say something and then... Ooh, he's choosing to burn the meter. Ooh, a successful block. It's actually a pretty wide window for that block, too. It's a very, very particular, particular speed. You actually have to read it, right? Dude, this is heated. This is great. Ooh, faulted. He faulted. Nairo faulted on the serve. You get 2. Remember, you get 2 in tennis. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, nice volley.
Nairo with turn 0. God, I want to say something, but I'm like clenching. Where's it going? Oh, there it is.
Very good positioning there by Bowser.
Dude, it's so fast. Spin, Waluigi.
Spin, spin.
Committing.
Oh, uh-oh.
Look at how far he got pushed back. Oh, 2 blocks.
Uh-oh.
It's still charged. What is this? Oh.
Oh, no, he ran out of energy.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh.
Oh, man, it's just
this doesn't look good.
After special shot.
So why do you, how about this? I think we know why that's happening, but So I think we know why that's happening, right? To me right now, it's definitely looking like, you know, Zero is purposely playing up the net and just trying to fill meter. He just seems to be farming meter this whole time. And I think that's definitely one way to do it, especially for someone like Waluigi who can cover so much of the court, right?
Right.
That's pretty effective with, nope, choose the bird's meter.
Yeah, those lows
that's
and
a flat
drop
shot.
shots.
Oh,
Very tricky
it's going to be
to
charged.
position correctly
Ooh.
for.
Oh, that's good. Ooh, I don't want to talk right now.
Yeah, this is a very fast-paced rally with both characters at the net.
Ooh, burn it. Oh, he still get it. Oh man, game 1 most definitely going to Nairo. Look at this. And Nairo's like pointing at himself like, yeah, you know who you're dealing with. Ooh, too early. Look at the health. Yeah, that
no.
unfortunately is a ragged break,
That
which immediately means for a KO, that's game Bowser. Wow. Wow, that was unfortunate. Zero. You just have to like nod up and down. Like, did you plan that? You can nod. You can nod. They're not Mike. Nairo's nodding on his behalf, and he just pointed at himself like, yeah, that's what's up. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that? You can, someone can gift that. And I can gift that.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and change a little bit of the settings here real quick. Show you a little something.
Yeah, we saw those piranha plants having
yes.
a big effect on some of the points that we saw were decisive in the game. So we are actually going to turn hazards off, which is always an option with hazard courts that you would unlock as you play through adventure mode in Mario Tennis Aces. So we will be playing on a similar court, just without the piranha plants, and this will be more of a straightforward, even matchup. It's kind of like turning items off in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I guess it would be, right? I mean, you do have the piranha plants that can change direction, and really it's RNG, if you want to call it that. And it's kind of just, you can go one of a couple ways, right? But this time, yeah, I guess it is a bit based more on skill when you do it this way. It's still fun either way. There's really no wrong way to play it. But, ooh, we see a Boo here. And, okay, so you see Nairo in this case, you know, going with Boo. And you have Zero over here with Bowser Jr. So how about you tell us a little bit about Boo and Bowser Jr.?
Right, Boo and Bowser Jr. are different playstyle character types. Bowser Jr. is defensive, so similar to Waluigi, you can see he has pretty good horizontal reach in his clown car. So again, he will be good at very good at returning shots. Center of the court, he'll be very comfortable there. Boo is has a peculiar playstyle where his slices have a very big curved trajectory. So a lot of his shots will end up going where you don't expect them to. Boo is a very good character to sort of try to get your opponent off guard, disposition them. Yeah, we saw a good curve on that slice back there. Boo can be a little bit slower, and his shot speed can, again, be a little bit slower. So it is a very different type of character to play as compared to a powerful character like Bowser.
Gotcha. And wait a second, I'm noticing something. Hey, Nairo, are you Bowser Jr.? Okay, that's what I thought, because I remember the controller switch. Sorry about that. So Nairo's Bowser Jr. on the right, and then Boo, that's Zero on the left. And then Nairo choosing to burn a little bit of that meter.
Yeah, oh, Nairo's pretty proficient at those zone shots. I've been seeing him whittle down
no, dude.
that racket.
And how, oh, look at his point. They're like pointing and playing with each other. This is great, guys. So as far as Boo's concerned, right? how are you looking at this playstyle, and how are you kind of adjusting if you were Boo and you were playing against, you know, what are you seeing right now against Bowser Jr.?
I mean, see him definitely, he is aiming towards the corners of the court, but there's a very high curve, so it is tricky. If you want to catch it mid-volley or mid-trajectory, you do have to be a little bit more careful where you're sort of maneuvering your character.
Yeah, and I guess there's also a difference between those tricky characters, right? Some, like, you know, Boo is very different as a tricky character as opposed to someone like, who else is tricky? Rosalina, right? So what are the differences that, you know, if you were a Rosalina player and you moved to Boo, what would you need to keep in mind?
One thing you would keep in mind is that Boo's slice has the biggest angle.
Yeah, how it kind of turns and curves, like how angled they can be kind of to the corners of the court.
Correct. So even within the same play style of like a tricky character, for example, other characters might have a bigger curved trajectory on their top spin, for example. So it's sort of up to you to play all these different kinds of characters and just find their quirks.
Gotcha. So even if you were playing, wow, you know, that was a pretty clean, that was handy. That wasn't, that was pretty handy. It's kind of like you just kind of extend your handy to the person and you hold that L, Zero. You're not used to holding a lot of L's, but you hold that one real good, don't you? Look at that. He's doing this with his hand, like he's making the L sign. He's going like this with his hand. He's like, yeah, I'll hold it. Do that. Hold that L. Just hold it. Love it, Zero. It doesn't happen that often, but when it does, I kind of enjoy it.
Alrighty, so for this final line, we will change up the court a little bit. Yeah, so let me get that set up for you. The third round will be Marina Stadium, night version. This is new to Mario Tennis Aces. This is also another sort of standard type of court where there aren't hazards to sort of interfere with your gameplay. There we go. And this was the court that was available to play in the pre-launch online tournament, so a lot of folks might recognize this one.
And you know what's interesting is, like, even seeing the two different matches with, you know, with Boo, and I think we're going to see some Donkey Kong here and things like that. There's super different ways to win. Even if you're a particular type of character, if you're powerful, you know, maybe it would be easier for you to win using your powerful shots, but that doesn't mean you can't win using your other shots. But then it depends on also your kind of, you know, your game plan. You can go in there and say, you know, I'm just going to break rackets. But don't tell the other person that you're going to do that, and it changes ultimately how you play, where you hit to the court. Like, yeah, you know, so definitely take a look at it, and it gets a lot deeper because, again, not all powerful characters are the same. Maybe not all of the not all the drop shots are the same, that's for sure. And even the drop shots, how they react per character aren't the same depending on what shot is coming in, what character is hitting to you, and what character is their drop shot even better or not. So all of those factors you have to take into account when you make a decision. But it looks like right now that Nairo doesn't care. And I assume that, Nairo's, you know, I'm realizing that Nairo's very, very good at this game. Oh, this is...
Oh, man. Yeah, he's raining those zone shots. Keeping on the offensive.
Ooh, racket break. Oh. Zero is...
It's like super entertaining watching gameplay, but it's also super entertaining watching them just play the game.
I'm super getting I'm getting distracted by just watching these two. Like, I'm not really... I don't know. I'm super...
Oh, no! That was a nice return.
Yeah, just keep watching this.
Oh, there was a nice trick shot. Catch up to the ball. Oh, yeah!
Ooh, but that was a 50-50. In fighting games, 50-50 is basically when you make them choose one or the other. Like, they don't really have a choice. If he's going to commit to the far side with one of those, you know, shots of burn meter, like, you know, use the stick, or not. He had to just choose.
Right, and if you're successful in returning a shot with a trick shot, you have huge energy payoff. Oh, but again, there's a chance you might lose that point as well.
Here we go, he's burning it. He chooses to burn in return. Look at their meters are still low. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Ooh.
Let's
get back there. Oh, he still got it. He still got it.
No way.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a lob. He may pay for this one. No. No. And also talk a little bit about the parameters.
Another lob.
Yeah, and also, you know what? Talk a little bit about the parameters of when a star kind of appears. And I think it has to do a little bit with the gauge and how, if you can actually use it, it starts to kind of spin a little. So there's a couple clues, you know, and sometimes even in these situations, I notice that they're not actually, you know, they're not going for the star. They're not backing up and going to it. They're just trying to put pressure on the other person.
Right. So the star can appear if your opponent happens to return a shot a little bit earlier, a little bit later, they might still return a shot, but there's a higher chance that a start point will then appear on the opponent's court. And there are a couple of things that you can do on a start point. For example, you can use the zone shot, of course. If you stand on a start point and press Y, which is the input for a flat, you will do a smash, which is a little bit faster bit of a shot, and the opponent will experience a little bit of knockback. So you can stand on a start point, choose to use a start shot, also a smash, or a zone shot, or you can hit the ball back and volley to make your opponent misguess the return timing.
We still got there. We still got there. Now still putting pressure on. Here we go. They're both playing up volleys at the net. Oh, that's not gonna have. Oh.
Yeah, Chain Chomp. Chain Chomp is a powerful character, but he does have a big. He's a big guy, so his mobility is his mobility is a little bit more limited. His hitbox is also a little bit bigger as well, so it might be easy to get a body shot off of him, for example.
Oh man, game point.
Game point.
Here we go. Game point for Donkey Kong. Ooh, body shot, Nairo body shot
Right
0 for the
in the
game. Look at that,
heart.
dude. Doesn't even, you know how what's interesting is some people will choose to hold on to that, you know, the star shot and to aim, but as you take time to aim, that thing drains. He chose to just let it go immediately, and that's actually, I've noticed that a lot with the, So, you know, it's definitely a tactical decision, right? And you have to commit to it. If you're gonna do it really fast, you better aim quick, just get the shot off, or you can really psych someone out, maybe aim one way to the court, go the opposite way and press the A button to try and disorient somebody. I've seen these guys are doing that a bit, but they're pretty straightforward.
Right, exactly as you said, it's sort of up to you where you want to aim your zone shots. If you aim it away, you might get a surefire point because it's such a fast shot that it's hard to return.
Look at that. Look at the return.
Yeah,
dude, the reflexes on these guys are insane. Uh-oh.
They are, and they just return zone shots with the zone shot. Sometimes you might notice that some ball trails are sparkly.
Yes,
there
why
are
is that?
specific ways to counter these shots. Either it's a max charge shot or they're standing on a start point, so the shot gets a little more powered up. Generally, you want to counter a topspin with the slice. You would want to counter a slice with the topspin, and you want to counter flat with the flat. And if you counter with the correct shot, your character will experience a little less knockback than they would otherwise.
Gotcha. And the knockback is really important because if you, let's say, for example, if you guess the wrong kind of shot, your knockback is going to be much, much more. And if it puts you out of position, you're open for either, you know, a drop shot, a cross-court shot, or a lob. And you just out of position. You don't have a choice to run back.
Right, exactly. And characters like Chain Chomp that have limited mobility, that will really affect their ability to return the following shot. Game point.
Game point for Nairo over here.
The lob takes it.
You know, and so in this particular thing, I mean, it's really funny. I'm also looking at how Donkey Kong's kind of choosing, or I should say, how Zero's choosing to play it. And notice there's been a lot of body shots in this particular. There's been like, what, 2 body shots against Chain Chomp? Probably because he's really wide in the center.
Right.
So it's not a bad tactic.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. I personally like playing speedy characters.
Oh, sorry, Donkey Kong, my bad. I got the name switched up. Sorry, to reinforce that, Nairo is Donkey Kong, and, you know, Zero is Chain Chomp. Sorry, they were switching before. Choosing to go cross court. Okay. Look at Zero playing up at the net in that costume.
Yeah,
that costume big.
Yeah,
and he's like, nah,
just letting those points go. He has one racket health left.
And Nairo looking
blame him.
pretty dominant here with the 40 love. Oh, he's choosing to burn the meter.
Wow, nice
Zero's like
one.
leaning forward.
You're so close.
Oh, and he gets right from the brink of the game.
Ooh.
Okay, so here comes Zero, making a slowly but sure comeback. But still, Nairo's on game point. Nairo's Donkey Kong. Choose to play in the sides. Both people playing aggressive as always. Don't care. More and more aggressive towards the net.
Oh,
Who's
it's nice.
Oh, there's a pushback. He didn't guess right. Neither of them dropped, but too late. Zero already got his meter full.
If he gets this off, he might just take the match.
Oh,
he just let it go.
Dude, it's so funny. Nairo just took his hand on the controller and went, It's like, no, we're not doing this. Oh, look at the comeback.
Yeah,
look at the comeback.
Break point.
Here, it's really funny because as I'm talking, these two can actually hear us. Usually they don't. It's not happening, is it? You gonna let this happen, Nairo? You gonna let this happen, Nairo?
Donkey Kong's on the offensive.
Oh, he's stuck out there! Oh, he's stuck out there! Dude, this is so exciting. I don't even want to talk while this is going on. Like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, I'm
we should
super focused into this match.
I know. What's really funny is if, you know, Jordan and I and a couple of the folks were kind of talking about this at 9 yesterday night. It's like, you know what if commentating for the match was really like tennis? You know, everyone's very quiet. Both players very quiet, very tactical. Excellent shot, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him that time. Yes, and small little golf claps or, you know, tennis claps. Excellent serve. Probably not a good decision by, the drop shot, beautiful. Look at that, it's a beautiful lob. Absolutely well played, very skillful indeed. Yes. I should totally do that. Someone's gonna do it out there. Someone's gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean the gameplay sort of speaks for itself, yeah.
Yeah. It's just so complicated. I mean, it's so simple, but when you start to get into the details like these guys, I mean, they're just baiting. It's either a 50-50 or setting yourself up for a really advantageous position. It's all it is, and it's really fast.
Right, and there's a lot of nuances to the different characters' play styles, so it's easy to jump into because the controls are pretty straightforward. You can execute most basic shots with one button presses, as well as the special moves. But it can get pretty deep depending on the matchup, your court settings.
Ooh. And also, dude, is it just me or is Zero just getting these, you know, getting his meter filled really quick?
Yeah, he definitely seems like the type to build it up to full and then waiting until the right moment to use a special shot.
And there's also, you got to take into the serve. There's definitely different types of serves too. He's choosing flat shot. Look at that. And so different types of flat shots, you know, off the serve and how they kind of affect things. You know, the more closer you are to the center line, you know, the more straight that shot's going to be. But the more off-angled, just like in real tennis, you can kind of curve shots more to the right. Especially difficult against, you know, good, tricky servers or people that have good, tricky slice shots, like a Rosalina or something. Those things curve like crazy. And Zero just relishing in the victory. Just arms up, smile to the sky.
Wow,
and
you made that comeback.
You look. Are you okay, Nairo? You all right, man? You
2-1.
Oh, I hear. So all I hear is excuses. But you know what? I think we're kind of running out of time. But again, huge thank you. Thank you very much, Roxy, for walking us through this. Thank you to Zero. Thank you to Nairo. You guys are good sports about this. Thank you for showing us some great Mario Tennis Aces action. And don't go anywhere on Nintendo Treehouse Live. We'll be right back with more stuff. So thank you for sticking around.